I gave this talk to the 2011 limo and car services and told them this Uber thing was not a joke, and they laughed me out of the room. I went in 2014 to Toys R Us, which was my favorite store as a kid, to meet with the CEO and pleaded, not even for the business, for them to take their strategy. I don't have to tell you what happened to that business. The bookstores were very naive about Amazon. This is historical. This is not, I'm a prophet, a futurist, you know, I'm not fucking Yoda. I just respect two core things. What customers are actually doing this second, and history always repeating itself.
You said a year or so ago when you were using Ripple's product that it was, quote, still too expensive, you didn't see.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we are in a different, they just announced with MoneyGram, as you know, yesterday or the day before. And obviously, we are in a different position than MoneyGram. We are, you know, we have our own settlement system, which is extremely cost efficient. Today it showed us, as we do in the test, it's 5 times more expensive doing with a cryptocurrency, with a stable currency like Ripple. But you know, it's others. For us, it's different. But I just saw Brad before coming to this meeting. I said, hey, Brad, you know, we are still in talking. I congratulate him to this deal. Obviously, MoneyGram needed something and Ripple needed something. That sounds a good deal. But for us, it's currently, we are pretty much okay with our settlement system. We can move money in a way that nobody can move it.
Start with you, Gottfried. Why is SWIFT the future of cross-border payments?
Why is SWIFT the future of cross-border payments? Because, 2 answers. I think one is because we have 10,000 banks on the network, and that, I think, is a resilient system, correspondent banking. And the other reason is we're innovating like crazy. So the big innovation that we introduced 3 years ago, called GPI, Global Payments Innovation, which really takes correspondent banking into the 21st century. But actually now, cross-border payments really has improved. The same I hear from corporates. We can now track it. It's transparent, etc. And I think the other great news is that because we already have the network, we can roll it out, make it backward compatible, etc. So we now have more than half the payments globally are on that new platform.
I think about the dynamic between Ripple and SWIFT not dissimilar to the dynamic between, you know, when Amazon in 1997, 1998, and you got Walmart. You know, certainly it's a David and Goliath kind of classic story. When Ripple thinks about the future of the Internet of Value, really democratizing payments, reducing costs dramatically, increasing speed dramatically, we're really thinking about it the same way we introduced new technologies like TCP/IP and HTTP that became the Internet of Information. You know, when we talk about what the SWIFT network is today, it's kind of a closed network. It has a lot of members on it for sure, but AOL had a lot of members. For 40 plus years, we had a construct around how cross-border correspondent banking worked. It worked, but it had a lot of limitations. We're seeing that move forward, but I think it's a step forward when you're switching from kind of, you know, if I may, horse and buggy to, you know, hey, can we make the horse and buggy go faster? Sure, but if we can actually just move to a Ferrari, let's do that.
I mean, if you look at a company like Uber or Amazon that has to send, you know, millions of payments a year to thousands of people, to hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people globally, using an old batch and file system. You know, many Uber drivers today still get paid bi-weekly. Why? Why can't you just swipe your card and have the money flow? Like, if I'm in Bangalore and I have a US credit card, believe you me, when I swipe that card, that driver's not getting paid instantaneously, right? You know, I joined the company, I think, maybe somewhat idealistically, as we all do when we take big leaps and big risks, because I've always believed from the minute I read the consensus, the white paper on the consensus mechanism for XRP, I believed it had the capability of changing the world. And, you know, I've had conversations with, you know, Chris Larson and Arthur and David around the fact that it is, I think, transformational software that we we kind of owe it our best effort to get it to where it belongs and where it deserves to be. So, being part of a team that's focused on doing that and, literally doing something that's never been done before, it's pretty cool.